Man, we had a great weekend. I know if you guys don't know, we had the HBCU Rugby Classic go off this past weekend. And man, look, it was part of the reason we couldn't do the podcast last week because my body was shutting down. There was so much to do. And look, to anybody who wants to organize a tournament in the future, do not try and do it by yourself, especially if you want the tournament to mean something, because it is not worth the stress. Add a tip: don't do it within a month and a half. All right, it doesn't work out. It worked out, but it's not good for your body. Like you're going to really start to shut off on something. So I am happy that we got this off. It kicked off. It went smoothly. We wanted to go 2 days, but weather and the health of players prevented it from ended up happening on it. But you know what? It was a great one-day event on Saturday and May 1st, and it was, what a way to kick off a month. What a way to be able to just, man, bring all these people together. Yo, it was so fun. We're going to have the videos up. There's a stream already available on Facebook, but we got some YouTube. We're going to put more up on the YouTube channel here, on GiftTime Rugby Network YouTube channel. So you'll be able to see the full games and everything like that. But, yo, this was legit. This was so legit. I mean, the vibes were great. Just the game action was intense and exciting. You know, people who had never seen it, of course, came out and loved it. A lot of people got lost trying to find the field because Highland Road Park, the rugby field on Highland Road Park, definitely are kind of weird. Like, people, you get to the park, but you don't think to keep going around because it's neighborhoods that you see. So some people just were getting lost, but man, it was good. Good times, good food, good people, good vibes. Oh my goodness, everybody, it was all love, connecting with players, everybody just getting a fill-in. That's basically what you always want from a rugby from any rugby event, you know. And we didn't get to have like performers like we normally do, but I can't even lie. This was fantastic. This was spectacular. I couldn't ask for better, and I can't wait till next year to be able to do this again. Because man, it's some work. And each year it adds a different level of work, but man, it gets more and more fulfilling every single time. So, man, I got, look, I'm not even going to go through I'm going to go through this every single one. So if you guys want to skip it, I mean, you're kind of horrible on the inside, but you guys can and get to the interview. But I got to give out the proper thanks. I had to make sure to write it down. So first and foremost, I want to thank the teams that made it out. I want to thank Raheem Vital and Karima and the entire Prairie View A&M rugby team. That's men and women. Women came for the first time, I would say major appearance of the Prairie View A&M women to come play, and they came out hard. Yo, those women can tackle, yo. And they were playing against a tough Roots teams, two of them, and as well as Louisiana Lanyap. So big thanks to them. They were the only collegiate team that was actually out there. So they held their own in that regard. I want to thank Tiana and Kyle Granby, Tiffany Faye, Derek Lipskin, and the entire Roots men and women's team. They came strong. They came to play. There was uncertainty a little bit because we had a lot of cancellations, but they came, they played their hearts out. They connected with the other teams, and man, it was great. This would not have been able to be the same if they hadn't been a part of it, and I'm so happy because people don't know, we've been working on trying to get them here for almost since they were created. Actually, since they were created, and we were always just trying to figure out the right time. Last year was supposed to be the time when it was going to go down, but of course, COVID came in, so. To be able to get it this time finally was like with everything, and it was worth it. Yo, that's a different level of mindset. I can't wait to bring them again and to give them even a different competition because we're going to put time into this one too. I want to say thanks to Sarah Chicken Drake and the entire Louisiana Lanyap women's team out here because they were our filler-in team, and to be honest with you, they came to played so well. They oh man, completed the bracket, gave people the game. Like it was, if I don't know if it would have been able to work the exact same if they hadn't been a part of it. And I'm so glad that they were willing to. It was nice to have a hometown team because they are based primarily out of Baton Rouge. So it was nice to have people that were from Baton Rouge being able to participate in it. And they played phenomenally. You couldn't ask for better. All the games and went through with it. I want to thank Shane Young and Devin O'Brien and the entire Memphis Inner City rugby squad. That's boys and girls. They came out defending champs. They came to play, put up the hard numbers. It was so great to be able to see them again. Shane and Devin have done such a great job with that program. I mean, they are literally the program to copy. On this, between Stuart Crone and ISEF and Shane Young and Memphis Inner City Rugby, when it comes to predominantly black and people of color youth rugby teams, and the impetus of creating opportunity in that, not just simply bringing it, but creating opportunity for them through that, I would easily say Shane Young and Devin O'Brien with Memphis Inner City Rugby are literally the U.S. creme de la creme, and actually probably is a model that can be replicated around the world. So I hope you guys man, that was so much. And then, of course, our other newest entries, because we had 3 brand new teams that came in. It was Dallas Youth Rugby with Basilio Torres and Ben White, bringing the Dallas boys and girls, first-time comers. Like oh my goodness, they were fantastic. Dallas has something special going on over there, and I can't wait to see them continue to grow for years to come. And it was a legitimate honor for them to be able to make it out to this one, because again, this tournament does not happen if they don't come through. But it was them that was brand new, Louisiana Lanyap, and all of Rouge Rugby, and then Prairie View A&M women's team. So we really had some newcomers in and some new looks. And again, there's not a single bit of regret that comes out from that, because they came to play. It was legit, man. So the people who won, though, we got to give it out to the award recipients. Because this was the first year that we actually had our trophies named. Before, it was always just the HBCU Rugby Classic Championship Trophy, and it still counts within that. But this is the first year that it had naming rights onto it, and our championship trophy was the Phaedra S. Knight HBCU Rugby Classic Championship Trophy. And of course, if you guys know, Phaedra is the World Rugby Hall of Famer, is about to be a USA Rugby Hall of Famer. She's an HBCU alumni of Alabama A&M, and she is just phenomenal person, and created PSK Collective, like just amazing. Great story that she has. And I'm actually gonna, not this week, but in the next coming weeks, post an old interview that we did that just gives everything about Phaedra. And she not only helped support this HBCU Rugby Classic, she not only helped with the development of Rouge Rugby, but she continues to advance for women, LGBTQ, black women, black causes. Like, she is legit. And then we also had our Ransom Ram Eddings Player of the Match trophy. And if you don't know who Ransom Ram Eddings, we got the podcast just early on. I don't remember the episode number, but Ram actually created the what's a team known as the Grey Wolves, which was the first ever predominantly black touring rugby squad. So basically what Roots is prior to Roots. This was started back in the early 90s and lasted until about the 2000s. And they actually have an alumni match coming up in September to bring it back. It's been a while, but this man, his purpose was not just to bring black rugby players together to be able to learn and network and enjoy and feel the impact of knowing that others exist, but also would work actively that in any tournament that he went to, that the Grey Wolves went to, they had to have an opportunity to go talk with a school that had youth rugby, and in areas where there was predominantly black areas where you needed to expose rugby into that area, and they would actively go and do there. Actually, one of the guys who were our sponsors, Marcus Wood, he was actually impacted by the Grey Wolves. It was part of his early adoption into rugby. So when you think that you're not making a difference because, maybe it didn't click, it does. It might not happen in the timing that you think, but it always does. So our Phaedra S. Knight HBCU Rugby Classic Championship Trophy recipients, for the men and women's division, it was Rouge Rugby. Again, like I said, they came to play. It wasn't a game. They did their thing. My God. And they played hard. They played so hard, they shut down for the rest of the day. They were like, done. We done. And then for our U19 boys and girls division, the surprise, I'm surprised, but when you see them, you're not surprised, was Dallas Youth Rugby boys and girls. And they came hard. Played a hard match against Memphis Inner City Rugby. That was... Man, when you talk about an opening, a revealer, and this is some of the first tape that they've actually had, so it was huge to be able to see them be able to get this. I was really happy. Either teams, it sounds corny, but I'm for all of them, so I love it either way. So it worked out. But it was great to see. This was dynamic play by the boys and girls. Dynamic play. People, get your girls' teams up, man. Get your girls' high school teams up because you need the counterpoint with the boys. Whenever you got a dope boys team and a dope girls team, it is probably one of the most spectacular things to watch. One of the most amazing things. It's marvelous. I can't even say. So they won. Those two teams won the championships. And then for our Ransom Ram Eddings Player of the Match trophy recipients, for the men's, we had Phil Selter of Roots Men's Red coming in. Dude was just everywhere on the tape. When you guys see it, you'll see him. He was just always in the frame, always in frame. For the women's side, we had Angelina Lomu of Roots Women's Green, who just killed it altogether. Again, always in the frame. That was the incident. It's not just how many times do you score. Scoring is important, but are you there in the tackles? Are you there for the pass? Are you a disruptant? Did your team win? So these things kind of played into the concept of it, and it was hard. I'm not going to lie. There was no easy task. These teams all played so well evenly, which is how you want rugby. To be honest, it should be incredibly difficult to find a specific player that was so game-changing because a lot of times you just want to end up going with who's the captain, and it doesn't always make sense. But it's hard because if you flow, you're flowing as a team, so everybody's contributing equitably. For then the boys' high school, we had Javon Bailey of Dallas Youth Rugby. Oh my God, that kid was so fast. He was playing scrum half. This kid would just take the ball and gone. Just gone. Like, he was so quick, so fast. Man, look, Life University, Lindenwood, y'all need to take him. At Central Washington, you guys need to take Iona. Somebody's got to get that kid because that is a weapon on the field right there. And so nice, so respectful. So kind. Like, if you looked at him at first glance, you'd be like, he's not going to do anything. No, that kid tackled. That kid ran. He controlled the ball. He knew how to dictate the defense. Like, that kid was legit. Javon was legit. And then the last one was Samft Falemi of Dallas Youth Rugby, another girl who was just dominant on the field. And this was hard because Dallas had a dominant girls rugby team. So, she was everywhere on it. She was powerful. She was guiding the way. It was awesome. Like I said, you'll see it on the tape. And then, of course, I want to thank the sponsors. I said I'm going through all of this. If it's too long for you, just go find the interview. But I think you guys really want to hear this. We want to thank our sponsors over there. Teresa Bowie of Baton Rouge Youth Rugby. She's the president for Baton Rouge Youth Rugby. She was a lifesaver in so many ways when developing this. Unfortunately, Baton Rouge Youth Rugby wasn't able to put the team in like we had hoped, but that didn't stop her from being able to work with getting gift bags for the teams, getting merch for the teams, and finding people to do it. She found a couple volunteers. She found one of the sponsors from Pennington to be able to come in. She connected with even where our original school, Scotlandville High School, and everything. Worked with Cativ and Pat LaDuff, a community program up in North Baton Rouge, and they actually the granddaughters of her were able to come down, presented an amazing popcorn. Like, Teresa was integral to this process, and so big thanks to her and all that she's done. And look out, I don't know what if Baton Rugby World, continue keeping your eye on Teresa Bowie. This is energy incarnate, and you wouldn't even imagine it. That's the beauty of rugby. You never, if you look at first sight, it's never is what it is, man. So, of course, big thanks to Phaedra Knight. She provided advice and funds and everything. Like, she was very integral. Of course, the naming rights, but as an HBCU alum, like, that's really key, and one that's well known in the rugby community is even more rare. So we're expecting to see more and more of that to come. But she is the leader on all this. I wanted to thank Tim Falcon Law Firm. If you guys don't know who Tim Falcon is, he is also the owner for the NOLA Gold. Definitely providing help for this event. And look, what we're about to do with HBCUs in Louisiana, it's going to be phenomenal. Helping with getting coaches over to them, being able to help with creating the framework and process for them. So it's like I said, it's about to be legit. I mentioned him before, but Marcus Woods and the Washington Youth Rugby squad, like, the Washington Youth Rugby organization helped with raising some funds for us that we needed to be able to complete it, because we wanted to make sure that the teams had a great time. And sometimes it's not just about what the teams can provide to you. It really is. The tournament is about being able to showcase the players, and the players need to have the best situation of being able to do that. So I want to give to that. Want to give it out to another of our sponsors, USA Rugby, and really led by Amanda Young Cox. She provided a full black referee, unit. I think this might be the first time in USA Rugby history that they've had a completely people of color, and not even just people of color, specifically black people, rugby staff, and they were incredible. They were so fun, so enjoyable. They reffed the games perfectly. Like, we had no issues, none. Even the one that kind of started coming up was already taken, because this tournament was all love, man. Like, I can't tell you enough, man. And then, of course, we had our athletic trainer, Gina Falgott, out of New Orleans. She just was running. I mean, we had a lot of, like, players go down here and there, but she got them back up. She got them moving. She was incredible going through the field. Like, it was, you couldn't ask for a better athletic trainer. She was ready. She knows it. She's worked with the Gold. She's worked with other collegiate rugby programs. She's never been in rugby until she started working in it. And so to be able to have her and do it, like, she was, you can't ask for better. You can't ask for better. Like, they are everything in the process, because if you don't have your health, man, it's tough. And then she covered all of us so well. Then we also had Steve Guillory of Steve Guillory Photos. He took great professional photos. Get ready to see them, because he's been to every single HBCU Rugby Classic since we did it in 2018. And his photos not only are phenomenal, his energy there is phenomenal. I'm so thankful to be able to have such great rugby community around to be able to participate in these things. We had Anthony Moose Daniels be able to help us with the post game, the cookout music. It got a little rainy, so people just kind of had to eat and go. But man, when I'm telling you the vibes during people getting food, and then even more so the vibes while we were cleaning up, They were everything. So big shout out. Check out, and of course, he's not just a DJ, he's an artist. You guys can actually check him out on Spotify. Look for Moose Harris. And he's gotten a phenomenal album. Like, he's such a legit rapper. I can't even say anything to that. Like, it's just, there's nothing to add except for he's just phenomenal. He's just phenomenal. And, of course, big special thanks, Baton Rouge Men's Rugby, allowing us to be able to use the pads and flags on the field. Big thanks to Breck for allowing us to use the field in a short notice. We only had about a week and a half to be able to schedule that field, and it usually takes a month. So big thanks to them on being able to allow us. That's also part of Baton Rouge Youth Rugby, being able to help front us in terms of allowing us to use the field. And that was big. And also want to thank our volunteers. I know this is long. You know, I'm not apologizing for it. You know, this is long. So our volunteers, Chisa Ebelu and his girlfriend Albie, helped on so much. And Chisa is my brother. You actually can see his podcast. His company Pedal also helps with sponsoring this, so it can work in both aspects. But again, you can't do events like this by yourself, and I have to catch my own ego again to never allow this to happen where you do it or try to organize the bulk of it. You can break it down, and now that we have this event in place, it's so good. So technically, I didn't really do it myself, as I'm explaining. There were so many people, and a lot of these people came at the last second. Like, they came at the last second. When I tell you, I only was able to work on this for about a month and a half because we started it in February. Because we didn't know I didn't know what COVID was going to do. It was very difficult to see what was going to happen. But I worked on it for a month and a half. Basically, I worked on it for part of February. Then I had to go to Brazil for a month, and I couldn't really work on it the way that I wanted to. And then it was basically all of April to do it. And we're just moving, and people just popping up and providing help and giving love. Like, it was awesome. It was awesome. Also want to thank Eric Twig Chris, who was our commentator, came on, did the full day of rugby, man. And look, I don't know if you guys understand. It's a lot. There was a lot of games that we'd had. We made 3 rounds of basically five teams playing per. So we had almost 15 games going on at any one point in time with very little rest in between. So to be able to keep pushing and he kept going, oh man, it was, I couldn't ask for more. Big thanks to my guy Jordan Francis. He helped us with the scoreboard and getting the games up and getting it up to streaming. And it was tough being able to get that thing up. You know, there's always a little bit of difficulties, especially whenever you're doing things with hotspots. So big thanks to him getting it up and being able to control the scoreboard and keep the people who weren't there at the field up to date. So it helped so significantly. And I don't have specific names because it kind of popped up and I didn't get a chance to write it down. But I have to thank the students of Scotlandville High School. We got about 5 volunteers that came for the early part of the day. They actually helped with the social media early on for both the HBCU Rugby Classic Instagram page as well as the GiftTime Rugby Instagram page. And again, like I always say, man, you get them young. You let people who are in high school and middle school, whatever, let the I don't want to say young folk or youth, but yet let the next generation show you that they are capable, and they came capable. I mean, they helped us with messaging, a lot of knick-knack stuff here and there, particularly helped with, like I said, the social media, and was able to give at least an aspect while we were working on trying to get the live set up. So it really satisfied a lot of people's curiosity about what was going on. Great photos out of it. You cannot be mad about that. So big thanks. Anita Gilmore was and Vice Principal Vice Principal Jackson being able to help and bring the volunteers in. So big thanks to them on that because everything helped on it. And then, of course, want to thank the referees. Definitely want to thank the referees. Elvia Saulnier, Justin Hale, Jamal Jones, Cheeky Outlaw, and Rebecca Portlock. These were our 5 refs for this entire match. And like I said earlier, they were phenomenal. They were amazing. They did a great job, controlled the event so well, and what can you say? When you have great refs, the games go great, players play well, everybody's smooth, people are happy. Like we're going, And as an event director and organizer on it, it's one less thing that you have to think about because there's so much that's going on at the same time. So I thank them so much for making it up, for being able to basically do their thing and just represent for the referees union altogether. And like I said earlier, big thanks to Amanda Young-Cox, Jamie McGregor, and USA Rugby for being able to provide the referees for this and the insurance to be able to do this. And then last but absolutely not least, want to thank our vendors, Bailey of Posh Popcorn, a team that Teresa brought, but I already knew, but it is these 2 young, really amazing black girls who created this incredible popcorn. And they have been just building up their entrepreneurship. You definitely go check them out on Instagram. You can find their website, poshpop.store online or poshpop on Instagram. And they just a phenomenal family. Patty LaDuff and Ebony McAllister. Just they raised great grandkids and kids respectively, and just amazing. You love to see young business development, and I'm happy that the HBCU Rugby Classic was a platform for them to be able to take advantage of that situation. And then, of course, my guy James Lagon of Hayward Dental Products. He's the guy that actually made this. Who made this? The plaque that's always stays behind, and another one. Made phenomenal products to be able to see. He even was the one who created our HBCU Rugby Classic labeled toothbrushes as well that you guys can find on the Rugby Outlet Mall store. You can find at rugbyoutletmall.com. He was such an amazing support, provided a ball, provided just great look at being a black rugby player back in the early 90s, playing at LSU. He only played for a short period of time, for a year or so, but he even claimed from that mindset, he'd helped him get through dental school and even pushed him through into other products. So again, whenever you have the past, you have the future, you have the beginning and the end, the middle, like it was a complete rugby event. And this was as great as any that could be. And next year, when I tell you it's going to be even more amazing, it's going to be bigger, it's going to be more complete because we're not doing it in a month and a half, 3 months, however you want to call it. It is going to be a full event, and the people that we have coming are going to be coming back, and there's going to be even more. And it's just you this is what you love to see. This is everything. This is everything. So I want to thank them. Big thanks to all of them, and y'all, I love it.